are conflicted because they are farmers as well. So they don't want to stop funding agriculture because that's cheap capital coming from government and they don't pay back. The PMSEC of Finance, George Gomatanga, in one interview with the local media house, he said that only 25% had been paid back. So these are freebies. And now we're going into elections. Do you think government will listen to advice that don't pump money into the economy? And they need to brag, they need to be campaigning using our taxpayers' money that they are doing something. They are doing something with my money. I'm giving them taxes, and they behave as if they've done miracles to put the roads using my taxes. So they are using it for campaigning. They don't listen. And this time around, that's why we are more doomed. This is a time where they are campaigning up to June, July next year.
23, yeah.
So they won't listen to anyone. It's a political survival. But I believe that, you know why I like Zambia? Zambia, they've changed the presidents. I think they've done 6 or so presidents.
Yeah.
So I think it must also happen here. We must see change.
But is that the solution?
No, it's a solution. If the driver is taken to the bush, you must get a new driver. You want to go to the bush every day. You know, so I believe, and I am saying sincerely, because when the armed struggle was launched, it was to enforce constitutionalism, to elect leaders of our choice. So it must never have been like the current government should remain permanent there, as if they're a church. That when I go to my church, I should remain permanent there. No. Why I'm saying so? It brings in diversity and competition. And I'm being sincere about this.
But the problem with Africa also is that the issues that you're talking about, where elected leaders are accused of being looters. And when you elect another one who is hungry, they will come.
But I'm talking about Zambia.
Yeah.
They have changed 6 or so presidents. And it tells the current government that if you mess up, you get out. There's nothing wrong about that. But why do we go for election? We go there to choose leaders.
Yeah.
And we must not be apologetic about that. So, and if you go to Zambia, do you know we can't export to Zambia as Zimbabweans because our goods are very expensive. And why? Because too much taxes, too much tax instruments, and my research are not making sense. Zambia is doing well. Those are the results. Go to Kenya. They've changed the presidents. And it's working. Right? So you cannot say that because you are in office, you must not be getting out. You must get out. But when you come back, you know what you are doing. So we now have a challenge where we have one person who is doing the same party, doing the same thing over and over. So I'm answering your question and say, what should be done? So I'm saying we are wrapping up. Zimbabweans, they must now rethink about what kind of a government do they want. Do they want to maintain this current government, which does not listen, which run with murder without any conscience? People lose their pensions, they lose their savings, they just change the rates willy-nilly. A government which oversees 3 different exchange rates and they don't see any problem. You have the interbank rate, which is 240. You have the auction rate, which is 155. You have the black market rate, which is 350. Yeah. Everything is normal. The same government is blaming business for being saboteurs, but they are the ones who are saboteurs. So because they're printing money, which is creating problems. They are funding construction, which is in short-term finance, which is ahead of, and the economy is getting into tatters. So we want accountability, we want honesty. Clearly, we want sincerity from government, and they must be truly a listening government, but they are not. You can even see that the advisor to the president are misleading him. Clearly, they are misleading him. You can't tamper with the currents. It's a very sensitive area. You don't use emotions. You use informed papers which are informed by evidence, consultation, and research, and contextualize the Zimbabwean issue with a sober mind, in a dialogue with a social contract. That's what should be done.
lastly, are you saying they're not doing these things? Are they not carrying out researches? I'm getting a sense that they're just a government that does nothing.
They are not doing these things. You don't even need the research. You asked me previously that, how do you see this prediction? How do you do this prediction? You look at a pattern.
Yeah.
So just observing how they've made their policies in the last time, particularly when they went for the local occurrence in 2019 in June, that was enough evidence for government, even the president, to see that it's a wrong turn. Because they forced the currency and they lost it within 9 months. It was, we went back to US dollar. So the same government is saying, we want to put a statutory instrument to force the same currency. So they're not doing research. And even as I speak right now, they will take it as if you are just being opposition. But I'm an economist, and I'm a professor for that matter. So I'm speaking my mind as an economist, sincerely, honestly, and because I'm suffering as well, the same way we're suffering. So they don't even listen. I wrote a paper to the Minister of Finance, but there are certain things which you don't want to say in the public, which are detailed, and you want him to use it, so he can have ownership, and you can get the credit.
Yeah.
He never, through his officers, he never acknowledged receipt. And when you look at the policy which came through, there was nothing from that paper which was taken. So you do a paper for government and you give them, and they don't take it. So it tells you the kind of government which we have, that they don't respect the views of people. And we continue to suffer because they are the policymakers. That's why I'm saying sometimes when we go for election, we need to make decisions which are going to make a difference. Because when you bring competition to politics, you then get better results. But if you have a monopoly of politics, you get what you are getting today.
So, but people have been going, we have been going to elections and people have been electing the same party.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing wrong about that. But I'm simply saying, if they want to continue to get problems, they must continue to elect the same party.
Let me end it here. We have come to the end of our discussion this morning, where we're focusing on our economy, and to say that what is it that we need to do as a country, as a people, to ensure that our economy is ticking, our economy is competitive, our economy is even